Hello and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I'm Dustin. We are looking at NIO once again, NIO, and I definitely owe Jake an apology. I'm sorry, my friend. You did a great call on this when this thing was under like $8 and you were telling everybody that this thing was going to be a breakout, and I talked a lot of shit. And the reason why was because I did not see it the way that I looked at it in my data. I mean, today, NIO is up to $15.30. It looks like the volume has completely exploded. We haven't had an under 100 million volume day since the 24th of July. Are you serious? And even when we look here, when I look at the things that I really respect, price is one thing, a breakout is one thing, go long signals, bullishness, it's all one thing. When you get the combination of a rolling return, which is positive on the 1 day, 5 day, all the way through the 6 month, that for me is a humongous signal. At $13.17, I might not have gotten in early, but I definitely would have paid attention then. We can look at least on the, for what I look, a short-term, intermediate-term, and longer-term signal. It looks like we do have go longs, and we've had them for quite a while. When did we get these? I want to see, because I really respect when it goes a double bullish or a double bearish when it flips from the other one. So it probably would have been here where I would have paid attention to it, and I would have respected it on the third one, which would have been at $7.73, which is probably around where you got into it, Jake. I'm thinking that's probably where you got into it, maybe in there, which was a solid move. I don't know what it looked like on the chart, but it was probably back. Yeah, it was like down here. That was a solid move to see. I can definitely say I definitely missed that because I wasn't paying attention. I looked more at my bullish or bearish, but I just did not look at NIO because it wasn't the most active. We can see it's had a go long. It's been on bullish, short term, intermediate term, and longer term for quite a while now. We're going to go ahead and look at the rolling sentiment. The rolling sentiment here, I think this is the graph which represents essentially the rolling average of the bullishness over the past 2 days. We can see that the ultra fast, this thing since, I mean, whenever you saw it, Jake, I don't know what you were looking at, but I want to know about that indicator, because when we look at the type of moves that we're getting here, this is where the bullish sentiment it essentially bottomed in March around 31%, which is ridiculously low. We just keep making higher highs. We're at 67.4% right now, which is really high. It looks like we're at 69%. We're going to be at 78% on the 10-day rolling, 71% on the 71. That is nuts to see. Let's look at this chart. I mean, wow, absolutely wow. I mean, I don't even know what people call that. I mean, this is the NIO in the weekly chart. Still remarkable. I mean, there's still a ton of room to run. If $60 is where it went in 2020, you could definitely see it run back there. New highs or high. I mean, you can't make a new high if you don't break the old one, So now we're looking at the daily sentiment indicator here. I mean, this is the same thing that we were looking at, but just on longer term, we're at 70.4%. I mean, wow. The volume that we're seeing too, the volume is completely following through. The average 15-day volume is rising in where we are right now. We're still exceeding that. We have not seen the rounding of this volatility or this volume yet. The volatility looks absolutely remarkable because the volatility is breaking out higher and higher while the price correlation is starting to follow along. The price correlation was actually going to break down. This is the type of picture you see when the price or the market price actually pulls the derivatives in the direction of the price, where the market demand is so high that you can't even fight the derivative value, because usually what you'll see is, if in a mathematical term, a derivative will end up being the thing that is behind the actual number. So it's like acceleration versus speed. Speed is how fast you're going, acceleration is how fast you're getting there. Volatility right here is showing you that price is pulling it. So like, it's being overpowered. It's being overpowered by the size of the engine and the love for this stock right now. The demand has taken over. The price correlation is very interesting. The size of the range, I mean, for the type of move that we've seen, I don't even think the range is that big. And the reason why I say that is because it doesn't look like we've seen the volatility get to a place where it overpowers people. It just looks like we're at a place where what we're seeing is people want to go higher. Like, it isn't really even overbought. That's to the point when we look at, actually, I'll go back to the ultra fast indicator here. Like, when we're looking at this sentiment, this sentiment, it never really gets fully overbought. It just gets a little bit higher, kind of falls back down, but it's still really high. And that's the type of incredible move that you just are blown away to see in something like this. But this is what happens when things change, markets change, and all of a sudden a name becomes a highly loved name. Since we got a little bit of time, let's take a look just at the weekly trade range. Wowzers. I mean, from where you are to where you could go. I mean, wow, boy. This thing could go high. I mean, the weekly ultra fast sentiment is just barely over 50%. It's at 52.9. That's it. Like, when this thing made it to $60 back in 2020, this thing was up at 75%. Like, that's just as an indication of where this demand could actually go. Like, we're looking, because this is here. Let's say, what is this? This is the first in 21. So this was like here. It was at like 67%, 69% in 21. We're at 55% right now at this price. Yeah, what a remarkable move that we could see ahead of us. The volume is breaking out. The volatility is absolutely completely resetting on the weekly. Ooh, ooh. I cannot wait to see what happens in the future. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And before you go, subscribe to the New High newsletter, bootlegmacro.beehive.com/subscribe. You get 25 stocks breaking out every single Sunday right to your inbox. I will talk to you soon.